All right, let's talk Grizzlies. 4 games in, they're sitting at 2-2. Not exactly a hot start, but not a disaster either. Ruben, how are you feeling about the team so far?
I feel like it's way too early to know if they're going to be good or not because of the injuries that have been around the team. You're still missing some very key members of this squad. And you're kind of trying to see what some of these young ones are going to be doing, like Cedric Howard. He's had an up and down, kind of slow in the preseason, had a really big game. I think he had like 27.
Yeah, against Indiana.
So there have been some bright spots, but again, an NBA season is so long that you gotta give them. I would say that first month, you just gotta let it ride and see what happens.
Now I'm gonna give you a window to get on your soapbox about the NBA.
Okay.
If you look at these Grizzlies games, it's been a lot of scoring and a lot of them giving up a lot of points. I mean, even look at this opening night victory over the Pelicans.
128 to 122.
Exactly. So, like, the Grizzlies, defensively, they're not there, but you could probably say that about the league. So, kind of go ahead and get on your soapbox about how you feel about defense in the NBA.
This is my beef with the NBA right now. Is a few years back, David Stern and company made some changes to the way you could guard in the NBA and the way you could, how you were defending. And part of it was to protect star players, and part of it was to draw in more casual basketball fans who wanted to see more dunks, more threes, and higher scores. If you look at like basketball in the 90s in the NBA, in the early 2000s, those games would be in the 90s to low 100s.
Yeah.
All the games now are 120, 130. I saw the Grizzlies had 80, 70 or 80 put up on them on halftime.
Against the Heat.
Against the Heat.
146, 114 was that final.
That should never happen. Not if you're, I don't care how good you are offensively, you should still be good defensively.
I think they are good defensively. I just think that
the
one
league
players
doesn't
are better.
want you to play defense.
Well, yeah, but I think guys still are guarding because we still got guys who are like.
No.
So
you just roll any generic NBA footage. Just roll any of that Grizzlies footage, Leanna, and we'll see. You tell me as we watch this if you're seeing people lock up and guard, because I would challenge you to say no, they are not. Now, when a guy has to make a multi-dribble move with a step back with a hand in his face, that's different. But look at
it right here.
You're telling
this
me
is on Herb Jones.
You're telling me
no,
he's locking down.
This is
You're telling me that's a lockdown, defenders.
Well, no, I want to see if it's a bucket scored. Okay, look at Herb Jones. Okay, he's fighting over him.
Look, that's not even a contested shot. What's Ja, 6'3"? What's the defender down there? Look, you're telling me that is elite defense? Come on, bro. I can't even get with that. That's my beef with what has happened to the style of play in the NBA. And again, it's generationally. I just come from a generation of the NBA. Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, Jason Kidd. Those were the players I followed and I watched extensively. The Dennis Rodmans of the world had a great place in the NBA because their skill set still translated. You can't even have that skill set right now.
So what defenders do you respect in the NBA?
Right
who do you
now?
think are legit?
Who I really loved was Marcus Smart.
Okay.
Played at OSU, obviously.
Yeah.
He was a guy that played here. He was a guy that would lock down and defend. Tony Allen.
Okay.
That's a great defender. That's somebody who every possession was going to be in your face. You were going to have to score on him. And I just don't see enough of that.
So no
in the NBA.
Draymond?
Draymond's dirty, man. Draymond's going to kick in the junk. He ain't going to try to stop you. He's going to try to hurt you, throat chop you and act like he didn't do it. Draymond's sloppy, bro.
But what about for the Grizzlies that got Jalen Wells?
And look, so I'm not saying nobody plays defense.
I know.
I'm saying I don't see enough of that in the NBA right now that makes me say, oh, man, I'm watching a great game. I should never see a team score 70 or 80 points in a half of basketball. I shouldn't be seeing 40, 50, 60 three-point attempts in the NBA right now. And that's what takes people away from the NBA. True basketball lovers want to see good offense against good defense and see who can win. Casual basketball fans just want to see dunks and threes.
There you go.
And that's the difference.
Well, see, the reason why I bring up Jalen Wells, because I like to do a little connective tissue. Let's talk about the rotations. And when you look at Jalen Wells, rookie season, kept it going, still in the starting lineup. Now let's go to another person in that wing rotation, G.G. Jackson. Rookie season, all rookie team, second team. Last season he was hurt a lot, so that kind of stunted his growth. Then they had the coaching change. But here we are in year 3. G.G. Jackson has barely seen the floor so far. So what do you think is up with that?
I think they've added some more players.
But cream rises to the top. He still should find a way.
When you add those players, sometimes a guy who you thought, and every coach in America will tell you this, they've got a guy on their team right now who they think might be a contributor next season, and then they get somebody else in who just is better than that person. And that's what happens. That's what, especially in professional sports. I mean, even at the college level right now, they'll tell you, college coaches will tell you, if they're not telling you the truth, every year they're recruiting to replace you. So you bring in a Cedric Coward who's going to take up minutes, especially defensively, because he's got those long arms and he does like to play defense. He is going to contest. Now and he's a bigger guard. He's a bigger kid. So that's what happens there. We wanted to talk a little bit about somehow the Grizzlies were looking. I put some numbers in here that I wanted you to see. Okay, right now, Ja Morant is 29th in the league in scoring.
Okay.
22 points a game.
Yep.
The leader in the league is Tyrese Maxey at 43 points a game.
Tyrese been hooping though. All right. I see what you're trying to do here.
All right, let me give you another. This one I'm not. This one I think is all right, and it might coincide with the scoring. Ja currently ranked 18th in the league in assists.
6.5.
6.5 a game. But look who leads the league.
Joker.
With 12 assists a game.
Best modern day center.
Yes, I will give you that. Defensively, the Grizzlies not really standing out anyway, which you mentioned earlier. Yeah. Like 42nd in rebounds. That's Santi.
Their leading defensive rebounder is Santi Aldama.
Yes.
On a team with Jaren Jackson.
Yes.
Who is
and he's ranked.
All-star.
Santi's ranked 42nd in the league. In that. And then look at the Grizz shooting numbers. 41% from the field.
31% from the three.
Yes, they're ranked 25th in the league from three-point shooting.
Yeah.
So when you ask me what do I think about, what do I see right now, I see a team still trying to find themselves. They've got a new system in place with coaching staff that's making some changes. You've got some guys coming back from injuries. Some guys trying to make sure they stay healthy. Even Ja had the ankle issue or whatever, and he's trying to make sure he stays healthy. And then you're still missing some key pieces that'll help. So I think it's way too early in the season to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I've seen some really exciting moments of the Grizz so far, and then I've seen some, like, as you put in there, some head scratchers.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Like the game against Miami,
Yes.
giving up 146 points. And then I didn't like how they looked against Golden State, but it's against Golden State in Golden State. You bring up Ja. Now what we're about to talk about has nothing to do with on the court. I don't know if you saw what happened off the court. Kendrick Perkins was on the Out the Mud podcast with Tony Allen and Zebo, and he took credit for Ja Morant's rise. He said basically the reason why Ja Morant is who Ja Morant is because Perk put him on.
Yeah,
what do you think? And that obviously got a rise out of Ja. He said something. He tweeted something. We're not going to pull up the tweet. And the internet obviously didn't let that slide. What do you think about that?
I think Perkins is smoking something.
Well, he was on this program, so you got to be careful.
To say that, come on. To say that about Ja. Now, and I will say this. Let's say that they had a conversation in private and he was trying to mentor Ja. You keep that in private. You don't go out in public and try to take credit for a man's growth and a man's maturity. I mean, Ja's gone through his own ups and downs, and he's growing up on his own and putting a city on his back, trying to represent the city. The idea that you would try to take credit for somebody else's growth publicly, I'm not cool with that. Now, privately, you want to holler at Ja and say, hey, thanks for listening to the things I said, and Ja says, I appreciate you. That's different. That's between two men in private. But publicly, I ain't got nothing for that.
I'm glad Zebo and Tony Allen really came to Ja's defense on that. And they were respectful about it. But, yeah, I mean, Ja knows who he is. I really love the accountability he's shown from the trouble that he's been in. But another soundbite, well, not really a soundbite, a quote Ja said that I took notice of is he said he never wanted to be the face of the league. And I think that was kind of like pushed on him. So I think guys like him and Anthony Edwards, they're a different breed of superstar where we try to throw the face of the league. And we're seeing how Anthony Edwards is kind of handling it now with Minnesota. But Ja, he got in trouble, which is why it was kind of ripped from him. And Ja's like, I didn't want this anyway.
Anthony don't want to be the face of the league. But that's where the league is struggling right now. The league has always lived on a face, right? Whether it was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird back in the day, then you take it to Michael Jordan, then you have your Kobe Bryants, and then they tried to push the face of the league on so many. LeBron tried to put the face of the league on so many people for so many years, but every generation that desire to be the face of the league has dwindled a little bit.
Well, I'll take it up one more. Like, the face of the league is LeBron, but LeBron is getting old.
LeBron's on his way out.
I think the problem is not necessarily the face of the league isn't American. Think about it.
That's never going to happen.
You could arguably say the 5 best players in the league are not American.
Well, I think you should be careful where you say that at. Be careful where you say that at.
Luka, Jokic, SGA,
And you
Giannis.
Okay. Just for you know,
Embiid.
you can find Rich out in the public. Where are you going to be today? In case you have beef with what he just said.
I'm telling you, it's
No,
like
I'm not disagreeing that the league has an
Who's the best American player in the league right
of
now?
international players that are definitely contributing. The problem is, in America, they're not going to ride a non-American as the face of the league.
baseball. Look at it, baseball. They riding with Ohtani.
We're talking about basketball.
I'm telling
Same
you.
thing with football. You couldn't bring in a non-American football player and think he's
What
gonna be the face of the
international
league.
football player is like legit like that? I'm telling you, I think you're underlying the factor that the international players can be the face of the league. We're looking at it in baseball with
What
Shohei
I'm saying,
Ohtani.
I'm not saying that they can't. I'm saying that they aren't. They don't get accepted like that. I don't think. I don't feel like you don't see everybody just like in your city. Joker's going to be the man in Denver, right?
Yeah.
And now Luka's going to be the man now.
in LA, SGA and OKC.
But I don't know. I just don't know why it hasn't happened or why it hasn't taken hold.
I mean, you look at, to me, what brought everybody together when basketball was during the Olympics.
Yes.
But look at the three faces of Team USA: LeBron, KD, Steph, all on their way out. So that's why
the
you
league is
you
struggling.
look at the next who is going to take the baton from them. That's why they put Anthony Edwards in that conversation.
You don't
but
want that.
he's a knucklehead, you know what I'm saying? He's my guy
The dude
from when I was in Minnesota.
18 years of child support up front, so he didn't have to talk to his baby mama no more. That says I don't want to be the face of the league more than anything else he could ever say. On that note, it's time for a quick break.
Give me my one shot, please.